So first question, Lauren and Nick PCs simultaneously send traffic by transmitting at the same time. What network term describes the range of systems on a network that could be affected by this same issue? Right, next question. Sarah is manually reviewing a packet capture of TCP traffic and finds that the system is setting the reset flag in the TCP packet it sends repeatedly during a short period of time. What does this flag mean in the TCP packet head? Ben has configured his network to not broadcast an SSID. Why might Ben disable the SSID broadcast, and how could this SSID be discovered? Next question. What network tool can be used to protect the identity of clients while providing internet access by accepting the client request, altering the source address of the request, mapping the request to clients, and sending the modified request out to their destination? Chris uses a cellular hotspot modem to provide internet access. When he is traveling, if he leaves the hotspot connected to his PC while his PC is on his organization's corporate network, what security issue might he cause? Hello and welcome again to one of our new videos at 591 Labs. In this video, we are going to talk about the CISSP exam preparation as well. So about 591 Labs, this is a top IT training and certification company in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore. The mission is to empower you with exceptional preparation experience, preparing you and allowing you to have a better experience and better chances to pass ISC² exams and other vendor-specific cybersecurity certifications as well. So, in this video, we are going to talk about Domain 4, as addressing communication and network security. And also we're going to include some of the tips and tricks and some of the advices that can help you out with your preparation and gaining the mindset of ISC² to hopefully pass the exam. So sit tight and enjoy the rest of the video with the questions included. So first question, Lauren and Nick PCs simultaneously send traffic by transmitting at the same time. What network term describes the range of systems on a network that could be affected by this same issue? Is it the subnet? Is it the supernet? Is it the collision domain? Or is it the broadcast domain? You can pause your video, take your time to answer the questions, and once you're ready with your answer, you can resume to check the answer and the explanation together. So the answer for this one is actually collision domain. Collision is when, let's say, this is a user connected, for example, to a switch port, and the user receives data and sends data at the same time and have duplex connection. This is where actually the collision can happen, requiring both entities to retransmit the data another time. So the collision domain is the set of systems that could cause a collision if they transmit at the same time, depending of course on the type of the system. Cannot cause a collision if they send at the same time. Other systems outside of the collision domain, they will not cause a collision. So of course, the more of the number of the systems in a collision domain, this of course increases the likelihood of network congestions to an increase in collisions. Broadcast domains is different. It's the set of systems that can receive a broadcast from each other. Subnet is logical division of a network, while supernet is made up. There is no such thing as a supernet. So the answer for this one is a collision domain. So of course, as you know, hubs, all the devices connected to a hub are on the same collision domain. While on the switch, each interface is a separate collision domain. So of course, it's much reduced, meaning better performance of the switch rather than a hub. Right, next question. Sarah is manually reviewing a packet capture of TCP traffic and finds that the system is setting the reset flag in the TCP packet it sends repeatedly during a short period of time. What does this flag mean in the TCP packet header? RST flag means rest. The server needs traffic to be briefly paused. RST flags means relay set. Packet will be forwarded to the address set in the packet. RST means resume standard. Communication will resume in their normal format. Or RST means reset. The TCP session will be disconnected. Sir? So, the answer for this one is actually D. RST means reset, flag used to reset or disconnect the session can be resumed by restarting the connection via a new three-way handshake, connection establishment handshake. Ben has configured his network to not broadcast an SSID. Why might Ben disable the SSID broadcast, and how could this SSID be discovered? So the SSID, it means the name of the Wi-Fi. Sometimes you can see the available Wi-Fi networks by simply scanning for them. Sometimes you cannot, even though they are there. So this is the idea of hiding the SSID. So the answers: disable the SSID broadcast, prevent attackers from discovering the encryption key. The SSID can be recovered from decrypted packets. B. Disabling SSID broadcast hides network from unauthorized personnel. The SSID can be discovered using a wireless sniffer. C. Disabling SSID broadcasts prevent issues with the beacon frames. The SSID can be recovered by reconstructing the BSSID. Finally, disabling SSID broadcasts help avoid SSID conflicts. The SSID can be discovered by attempting to connect to the network. So, the answer for this one is actually B. Disabling SSID broadcast hides the network from unauthorized personnel. So if you're only authorized to access the network, you will know the SSID, you can search for it, and you can connect to it manually. But still, of course, it can be discovered using wireless sniffers. Encrypting keys are not related to SSID broadcast. Beacon frames are used to broadcast the SSID, and it's possible to have multiple networks with the same SSID. Next question. What network tool can be used to protect the identity of clients while providing internet access by accepting the client request, altering the source address of the request, mapping the request to clients, and sending the modified request out to their destination? Is it a gateway? Is it a proxy? Is it a router? Or is it a firewall? So let's say here we have, this is the internal network. We have user connected to the internal network, and then we have here a firewall. This is the DMZ, another firewall. And here we have a device, all right? And this is the internet. We have a server on the internet. So we want to protect this internal user. We don't want anyone to know his internal address. We want to keep it anonymous. So in this case, the user is going to open a session. This device is going to terminate the session here and then change the source address to be its own address, open the session with the web server, get the request from the server, and then forward the reply to the internal user. This one is actually called a forward proxy device. Forward proxy is used to hide the sources, the internal sources, from external internet access. So the answer for this one is B, proxy. It's a form of a gateway, provide clients with filtering, caching, and other services, protect their information from remote systems. If we have an internal server and we want also to not to allow anyone from the internet to access the servers, then we can have a reverse proxy, which will take the requests from the internet, terminate them here, open a new request with the internal server, get the reply, and then forward the reply back to the external clients. This one is called a reverse proxy. So forward proxy from internal users to the outside. Reverse proxy from external users to the inside. Chris uses a cellular hotspot modem to provide internet access. When he is traveling, if he leaves the hotspot connected to his PC while his PC is on his organization's corporate network, what security issue might he cause? A, traffic may not be routed properly, exposing sensitive data. B, his system may act as a bridge from the internet to the local network. C, his system may be a portal for reflected DDoS attack. And D, security administrators may not be able to determine his IP address if a security issue occurs. So the answer for this one is actually B. His system may act as a bridge from the internet to the local network. So he is connected to the internet using the hotspot, and then he's still connected to the internal LAN. So in this case, his PC can be used as a bridge. If we have an attacker on the internet here, he can connect using the internet connection to the Chris PC, and using Chris PC, he can connect to the internal servers on the intranet. So in this case, his device is going to be used as a bridge. So when workstations or other devices is connected simultaneously to both a secure and non-secure network like the internet, like this example in here, so it may act as a bridge, bypassing a lot of the security protections that is associated with the internal network. Next question. SMTP, HTTP, SNMP all occur at what layer of the OSI model? Is it layer 4, 5, 6, or 7? So these are application-specific protocols. They are handled at layer 7, which is associated application layer of the OSI model. Lauren uses the ping utility to check whether a remote system is up as part of penetration testing exercise. If she does not want to see her own ping packets, what protocol should she filter out from her packet sniffer's log? UDP, TCP, IP, or ICMP? So The ping actually, or the echo, will use the ICMP protocol, Internet Control Message Protocol. This is used to determine whether a system responds and how many hops are there between the originating system and the remote system. So Lauren simply needs to filter out ICMP to not see her own ping requests. Next question. Ben has deployed 1000 base T 1 gigabit network and needs to run a cable to another building. If Ben is running his link directly from a switch to another switch in that building, what is the maximum distance Ben can cover according to the 1000 base T specification? Is it 2 kilometers? Is it 500 meters? Is it 185 or 100 meters? So in the Ethernet standards, the first number here is associated with the speed, and the second part here, the letters here are associated with the media type. So T stands for twisted pair, and it's capable to run distance of 100 meters, according to the specification. For longer distances, we would need fiber optic cables in this modern networks. Ben is also designing a Wi-Fi network and has been asked to choose the most secure option for the network. So which wireless security standard should he choose? WPA2, WPA, WEP, or AES? So as you can imagine, of course, WPA2 is a replacement of WPA and does not suffer from the same security issues. Why WPA2 is still not secure? We have nowadays WPA3, which is the latest release, which is the most secure in Wi-Fi network. But from the answers we have here, the best answer, of course, is WPA2. This is the correct answer. AES is used in WPA2, but it's not specifically a wireless security standard. During a review of her organization's network, Angela discovered that it was suffering from broadcast storms and that contractors, guests, and organizational administrative staff were on the same network segment. What design change should Angela recommend? Is it to require encryption for all users? Is it to install a firewall at the network border? Is it to enable spanning tree loop detection or to segment the network based on functional requirements? So actually, network segmentation can reduce issues with performance as well as diminish the chance of broadcast storms by limiting the number of systems in a segment. This decreases broadcast traffic visible to each system and can reduce congestion. Segmentation can also help provide security by separating functional groups who don't need to be able to access each other's systems. So also installing a firewall at the border would only help with the inbound and outbound traffic, not cross-network traffic. Spanning tree loop prevention will help to prevent loops in the Ethernet network, but it won't solve the broadcast storms that is not caused by loop or security issues. And also encryption can prevent some problems between functional groups, but it will not stop them from scanning other systems So, and it definitely won't stop the broadcast store. So the answer for this one is D. Segment the network based on functional requirement. Next question, what type of network device is most commonly used to assign endpoint system to a VLAN? Is it a firewall? Is it a router? Is it a switch? Or is it a hub? So this one is pretty easy. Assignment of endpoint system to VLAN is usually performed by a network switch. What type of network device modulate between an analog carrier signal and a digital information for computer communication? Is it a bridge? Is it a router? Is it a router? Or is it a modem? So we have digital signal, which is zeros, consist of zeros and ones. And we have the analog signal that is associated with telephone lines. So this kind of conversion is usually done by a modem. The modem usually does the conversion between the analog and the digital signals. Modulator and demodulator. Jim is building a research computing system that benefits from being part of a full mesh technology between systems. In a 5-node full mesh topology design, how many connections will an individual node have? Full mesh means that all devices are connected to each other. So if we have here 5 devices, each one will have how many connections? You can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, so each device will have actually 4 connections. What topology correctly describes Ethernet? Is it a ring, star, a mesh, or a bus? So Ethernet uses a bus topology. While devices may be physically connected to the switch in a physical topology that looks like a star, but systems using Ethernet can all transmit on the bus simultaneously, possibly leading to collisions. So if we are talking about Ethernet, its topology should be associated like a bus type or a bus topology. Thank you all for attending today's class at 591 Labs. We hope you found the material informative and helpful. Remember, practice is critical to mastering any new skill, so review the course content and keep practicing with 591 Lab help and support. And if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact us. We appreciate your participation and look forward to seeing you in our future classes. Have a great day, enjoy working, and best of luck with your exams.